Good evening. I would like to share a passion with you. It's a place and a location and an action. It's the Horn Farm Center in Hellam Township. And the action is learning how to cook in a wood-fired brick oven. Imagine being dressed in multiple layers of clothes and standing over an open fire. I grew up on a dairy farm in southeastern Minnesota, the first of 5 children. It didn't take long for me to start showing signs of allergies, and I got relegated to the kitchen. And I became my mom's sous chef. I enjoyed cooking and working and helping my mom, and this led to 4-H, which was a major part of my growing up. My goal in life was to become a county extension agent like the ones that mentored me. So I went off to college with this goal in mind. But by senior year, I was ready for an adventure. So I decided I wanted to go wherever the job would take me. I graduated with a degree at that time called Home Economics and Business, and I joined a business because businesses were starting their own labs, and they were going in and teaching the consumers how to use their brand new electric and gas ranges and putting out cookbooks. So this little country girl went to Washington, D.C. for her first job. I worked in the food industry for 43 years, retiring in 2013. But food was still an important part of what I wanted to be part of. As my children grew and my husband retired, I was looking for something that would feed this dedication to food, land, and people. I volunteered for events at the Horn Farm Center, and once my husband passed, I discovered a group of people that I could really connect with. Hidden in a brick building was a summer kitchen built in the 1870s. A lot of things had been done in this building, and it was in poor shape. But a grassroots group of people saved the Horn Farm land from development, and friends of the farm started teaching agricultural education. I became a co-leader with Gary Jones to renovate the summer kitchen and also have it become licensed for the community to rent. With a concrete floor and plywood tables, no electricity or water, we started out making all kinds of food to present to the community to help them learn about the Horn Farm Center. We baked everything from turkey to pizza. Lots of trial and error. How much wood do we need? How long do we have to keep the wood in the oven? How hot did the oven get? Gary was part of a group trained by personnel from the Dillsburg Tavern, and he could teach all the rest of us how to use this wood-fired oven. A kitchen is a place to prepare meals, hang out with the family, store equipment, but it's also a place, in the 1800s, it was a place to keep the heat from the main house and keep the main house from having smoke and fire. The summer kitchen was about the size of a single-car garage and had 2 stories. The second floor was where the hired help lived, or when the oldest son got married and moved into the main house, the parents moved into the summer kitchen. The German style had the oven and the hearth in the same area. The English style had the oven separate from the hearth. If you had a bake oven, it was a sign of wealth, and it was included on your tax records. If you didn't have your own oven, you could go into the center ovens in town or have somebody else do the baking. The hearth was used during the week to prepare the meals, and one day you would do the baking, and that baking had to last for the rest of the week. Bread was always baked on a Friday, so you had fresh bread for Sunday dinner. If it was just the family, it was bread. But if you had company coming, then you had rolls. To decide how hot the oven was, you stuck your arm in it. And if you could keep the arm in there for 15 seconds, if you could not keep your arm in there for 15 seconds, the oven was too hot. That was a real learning experience. Many scorched a few hairs off. The bread doughs, which was started about the same time the oven was started, were usually ready to go into the oven once the oven had gotten hot enough and all the ash had been removed and the floor had been mopped. The 19th century housewife had to be very, very observant of where her skirt and her aprons were because she was always working over this open flame. Luckily, her clothes were made from natural fibers, cotton, wool, linen, so they would burn, not melt like our synthetic fibers would today. The hearth was always on 24/7, keeping soup warm or coffee. Adjusting the heat was putting on more wood, lifting the food further away from the flames. If you would like to see different kinds of summer kitchens, Kutztown University German Heritage Center, the Dillsburg Tavern in Dillsburg, the Wright Mansion in Wrightsville, the Landis Valley Farm Museum, and the Colonial Complex in York. Gary and I had a whole lot of skills going on as we tried to figure out how to cook in this oven. We made everything you can imagine in this oven. Some worked, some didn't. We used to tell the people a little bit of ash is good for you. It's healthy, because you always got a little bit of ash on top of your food. You can see here where we ended up getting the kitchen with a stainless steel table, lights, and water. It was a blessing. We gave, over the last couple of years, since the kitchen was finished in 2015, we have given a lot of classes. The Horn Farm Center led me to the Colonial Complex summer kitchen that is behind the Plow Tavern. This is also has no electricity, no water, but it does have electricity, and it's pretty much set up like it would have been back when it was originally built. My passion started with healthy, grow your own food at a young age and carried me into my 70s with enjoying experimentation and sharing with others. Now my goal is to watch and see where the Horn Farm Center and the Colonial Complex take me next, because I really enjoy what I'm doing. Thank you.